Welcome back to the channel. Alex Auto here. I help people make money in the car rental business. Okay, we use cheap cars to print cash flow. Okay, in this video, I'm very excited to talk about AI. Okay, we're going to talk about AI, we're going to talk about automation, we're going to talk about systems. Okay, so make sure you smash a like on this video so more people can see it, so that the algorithm knows that I am bringing value to the community. Okay, all right, now let's jump right into the video. The first thing we're going to talk about is automations. Okay, everybody loves automation. Everybody wants their business to run on autopilot. Now, it's very important to understand what actually plays into automating your business. Okay, because it's not just doing nothing at all and hoping for money to show up in your bank account, because that is not going to happen. You need to understand how automations can work for you. Okay, and then you, as the business owner, are going to need to understand how to actually build out the automation and the systems in your business so that it works for you and saves you time, makes your life easier, so that you can work on more important things like growing your revenue and adding more money into your business and into your pockets overall. Now, one of the first things that you're going to have to do once you start making money in your business is you're going to have to give up some of that money. Yes, you're going to have to give up some of that money, right, to save yourself time. At the end of the day, your time is ultra valuable. And I'll give you an example. So as a business owner, if you're making 10K a month, right, the time that you're going to place on, let's say, a full week, let's say you work 40 hours a week. So for an entire 40 hours, right, if you make 10K a month, you're doing about, let's say, what, 2.5K a week. So 40 hours for you is worth $2,500. Now, if you're building a business, and you know that if you spend 40 hours, you can make $2,500, would you want to spend that amount of time working on very, very small tasks that cost about $10 an hour, right? So $10 an hour overall is about $400. Or do you want to work on tasks that will cost $1,000 an hour? That way you can make more money working on those specific tasks. So at some point, you're going to have to determine what that cost of each specific task is, and then reassign that task to somebody else that you can pay for less than the cost of the task. And I'll give you an example. One of the things in my business, one of the very first things I automated was phone calls with my customers. Okay, and I mean new phone calls from people that are interested in our services. And a lot of people might say, why would you want to automate that? Isn't that how money goes into your pocket? No, actually it's not. Because most of the time when people call and they're inquiring about your services, they have a whole bunch of questions, okay? And once you do it for a little while, so let's say over the course of a year, you take 1,000 phone calls, you're gonna notice that all the phone calls have very, very similar questions, okay? Now, you can spend all your time answering the same questions over and over again, or you can simply pay someone, like a virtual assistant, a fraction of the cost of what it would cost you to answer those questions for you, so that you don't have to do that, and that you can spend time maybe buying more cars. You can spend time maybe reaching more people, marketing, right, post social media, things like that actually bring in new business, right? And then somebody else can answer the calls that are already coming in, because those calls are already going to come in. Okay, so that's what I mean by reassigning certain tasks. Now, one of the things that I implement in my business is a virtual assistant from the Philippines. This is great, right? This has helped save me a bunch of time. You can pay your virtual assistants anywhere from $3 to $4 an hour, and you can start them part-time. So if they work 2 to 4 hours a day, that can be extremely valuable, right? 2 to 4 hours in a day is valuable, and if you assign them to the right task, that can save you 4 hours of time that you can spend growing your business. Okay, so you need to understand that, and once you understand that simple concept, you have started to understand automation. So the first type of automation that you're gonna do is hiring. Okay, before you even get into AI, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people want to jump straight into AI. AI is simply a machine. It's an algorithm, okay? And yes, AI is getting more and more complex by the day, but 99% of people aren't going to have the sophisticated knowledge in order to program an AI to replicate a real person. You just won't. Okay, you just won't. All right, that's gonna be for the top 1% of engineers in the world. Even 90% of the engineers don't have the skill set to automate AI in a way where it replicates a person. Now you can automate AI. I'll show you how you can automate AI in your system, in your business. Okay, it's very simple to do when it comes to automating it in your softwares and things like that. But to do things like take phone calls, I've tried it. It can't replicate a person, at least not yet. Now it will be able to very, very soon, but it can't. Or maybe I don't have the skill set to make it replicate a person. And I'm gonna argue that most people probably won't, unless they've been doing AI since they were 12, right? Which is gonna be nearly impossible to find. So what you need to do is hire a person and write an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure for some of the things that you are currently doing, and then teach that person how to do it. There's going to be a first step to automation. Your next step to automation is you're going to need software, okay? And one of the softwares I like that's very good. It's simple yet and complex at the same time. It's called Go High Level. Okay, Go High Level is a great software that will allow you to build automations inside the software. So I'll give you an example. When somebody calls our business number, I have an automation created that automatically creates them as a lead in our opportunities tab. Okay, so once they're created as a lead in the opportunities tab, automatically from the phone call or text message. Okay, so this is amazing. It saves me a whole bunch of time from sitting there and creating it, and actually, it also saves my team time from sitting there and having to create it. They're automatically put into the lead. Now, their information is there, and we have automations for all the people that are in leads to email them and follow up with them when they're not moved into, let's say qualified. They're not moved into qualified or unqualified. Okay, so everybody in leads, right? We automatically send them SMS, an email, and a text message, right, to follow up with them if they don't book with us, or if they don't respond after calling us or texting us. Okay, so very, very clutch, right? You can do automatic follow-ups, and on average, it takes about 8 touches. So it takes about you reaching out to someone 8 times before you make a sale. Okay, so this is very important for being able to follow up with your leads and your clientele that have reached out and inquired previously, so that they can come back and book. And we've noticed that when we do this, we get a lot of people that end up coming back and booking because they were interested before. All right, so this is something to keep in mind. Now we can talk about AI specifically. Okay, right now the most common use for AI is probably, you have things like ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have Gronk, right? These are language-based models, right? Text-based models. That's the most common use. That's what most people that are using AI are currently using it for. Now, obviously, you have things that are released every other week, right? You have Sora 2 that just released, right? Gemini just released VO3. Okay, so these are video-based, right? Text to video-based AI. And some of these are amazing technology that you can implement. Okay, so you have language-based and then you have video-based. Now you can combine the two, right? And actually create like things like marketing resources. You can create content, right? For your social media pages. Okay, so these AI tools are brilliant, right? And everybody should be leveraging them, right, in their business. Okay, so you should be using AI to create content at the very minimum. Okay, on top of that, one of the things that I do is I have I create things like AI fleet mechanic advisors in ChatGPT. Okay, and each time I want to buy a car, I insert the car's year, make, model, and trim into ChatGPT, right, into my mechanic advisor, and it tells me all the common issues with the car. I don't even have to go. I don't have to think about it. I just put it in there, and then it tells me all the common issues with the car. And if a common issue is expensive, I stay away from that car. Okay, that will save you a ton of money. Okay, so using tools like that, for AI is amazing. And these are real tools that can actually save you a bunch of time and bring real value to your business. Okay, so that's how you use your systems. You use hiring, you use tools, and then you use AI. You combine all of them, and you can take your business to the next level and beat out most people that aren't using these tools. Okay, So if you like this video, make sure you smash the like button so that the algorithm and the AIs, our AI overlords, send this video to more people. Okay? If you like a video on this channel, make sure you watch the next video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn how to start and scale your car rental business using systems, tools, and AIs, make sure you click the link in the description to our Facebook community. And I'll see you on the inside.